Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Morning Coffee and Marketing. So the description I put on this video is testing your marketing is a waste of fucking time. And I know that is going to make some people's heads explode, particularly people who, particularly folks who are running relatively large companies or who are absolute devotees of direct marketing gospel. They're going to think that I've lost my mind. However, there are many occasions that, hey Sal, how you doing? There are many occasions that testing your marketing is a waste of fucking time. Sometimes sometimes you hit a sweet spot and it's just good enough. Sometimes you have good, solid results that are profitable, and your time is better spent to try and figure out another lead source, or your time is better spent to try and figure out how to sell the clients or your customers something else. Oftentimes people test and test and test. Like, for example, let me give you an example, something concrete. Let's say you buy real estate and you send out 200 letters at the beginning of the month and 200 letters in the middle of the month. And the letters go out to people who have whose houses are condemned or whatever. And so you're sending 400 a month out in two different drops, and people call you and you negotiate and buy some houses and fix them up and rent them or flip them or do whatever you do with them. If you got a letter that's working for you, it's probably not worth testing. First, it's not worth testing anything because you're not even going to know. It's going to take you 2 years to get a sample size that's reasonable enough where you can actually figure out if there's a difference in response. When you're testing 400 pieces, you have to have such a massive difference in response for the test to even show up. If the needle moves 0.1%, it's going to take you 3 years of mailing letters in order to see if it works. And that's assuming that you have 3 years of data that for the last 3 years, so that you can even see if it moves 0.1%. Now, if you get a 3% response jump, then okay, fine. But at some point, getting a 3% jump in response, so going from 2 responses for every 100 letters that you send out to 5 responses for every 100 letters that you send out, at some point that's just damn near impossible. It's just the letters just gotten good enough. You have tested the big things. You have come up with a control, and now you're mailing 400 letters a month. Don't test, whether this headline or that headline, whether changing the word here or using this word as opposed to that word, or putting the stamp upside down as opposed to right side up. None of that shit is going to ever. It's just an exercise in mental masturbation. That's all it's ever going to do. If you're only mailing a few hundred pieces a month, just get a good solid, response, and then go look for another list. If you're running newspaper ads, but you're running it in the local newspaper, and you're getting a good response from it, why would you even? Okay, fine, you can test a separate ad, run both ads at the same time, but why even monkey with all the details of the ad? You get one extra call a week. How much do you really expect? Now, if you're running newspaper ads in, 300 newspapers around the country, fine. But if you're running newspaper ads in your local newspaper, if you're doing Facebook ads, and, if you're doing Facebook ads and you want to scale to $10,000 and $15,000, $20,000 a day ad spend, sure. You want to test and fine tune that because you have enough of a sample size coming through that you can make a difference. But if you're a local, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, get an ad that works. Get an ad that brings you some response, that makes your phone ring, and just run that fucker until it stops running. Why monkey with it? Why fuck around with it? It's, people, I talked to some clients, some of my smaller local clients, and they just, we need to test, we need to test a different headline. What kind of response are you getting? Oh no, we're profitable. You're profitable on the front end. Yeah. Okay. And how many, how many clicks are you getting a day? Oh, well, we get, 10 clicks a day, 20 clicks a day, 50 clicks a day, whatever. All right. And you're making money with that? Yeah. And you're happy with the response? Yeah. Then why monkey with it? Let's just go find somewhere else to access people. Let's go find another list. Let's go find another media. Okay, I mean, if you want to reconfigure the whole ad, but if you're profitable, let's figure out how to sell the people who are coming in. Let's figure out how to sell them something else. Let's figure out how to get more money from them on the front end, right? So instead of selling them just a widget or just a service, let's figure out how to put them on a monthly, on a monthly retainer for your service, or let's figure out how to upsell them to a different widget. There's better areas to focus on, and if you're spinning your wheels, testing a bunch of different variables, when you don't have the size and the scale that those variables are going to make a difference, then you're just entering mental masturbation. You're just fucking around with something for the sake of fucking around with it instead of trying to figure out how to make more money. So that's my message. If you're, like I said, if you're running big, if you're mailing 20,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 pieces a month, absolutely, positively test every variable you can test. If you're looking to spend on online, pay-per-click, this kind of thing, if your ad spend is $5, $10, $15, $20,000 a day, yes, test everything. Test little changes in the words, test changes in the offer, test, always test. You have enough, you have a large enough, you're doing enough business, you're generating enough leads that small differences in response can be powerful for you. But if you're running a local business, or you're running a small business, or you're running, like, I have a boutique consultancy here where I don't have 4,000 new clients coming in every month. I don't need it. I don't want it. I have a few clients. I make a very good living. I'm very happy. I do exactly what I want to do when I want to do it. So I don't need a bunch of clients. I just need a marketing method that makes sense for me. When I ran a roofing company, we weren't getting 400 new calls every week. We were getting 10 calls a week, and we were making millions of dollars a year on those 10 calls a week because I figured out how to sell more of those 10. 10 might be a little bit low, but 15 calls a week. But I figured out how to get more of those 15 to sell more to those 15. So instead of tweaking every little thing and figuring out, I got a process that was good enough, and I figured out how to sell more to the people who were coming, who were calling, instead of trying to figure out how to tweak every little tiny thing so that I can get one extra call a week from the ad, or one extra call a week from the mailer. Or it would have been a waste of time. It would have taken me years to see any results from that. However, learning how I could sell things, learning how I could sell roofs, figuring out how to sell roofs at double the going rate, that was a powerful use of time when it came to sales and marketing. So think of it that way. Think of your business and try and figure out, how long is it going to take me? If I get a 0.1% extra response, how long is it going to take me to see a result, to see a positive result from that? And if the answer is it's going to take me 6 months or a year to even measure it, just fucking stop worrying about it and go and figure out how to sell more to the same people. In the words of Doberman Dan, just sell the damn thing, right? Stop trying to tweak and twist and all that direct marketing. I used to think that all that stuff was, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you have to do. No. Direct marketing is all about making money. And that's what you need to focus on, is what is the quickest, most direct route to the bank. If that's tweaking some little things in your marketing message because you have enough lead flow to see substantial differences in the short term, then by all means, test. But for most businesses, like a vast majority of businesses, test is just mental masturbation. Make sure that the testing can show results quickly and efficiently. And if it's not going to make the results, just go on to something else. Anyway, I won't beat a dead horse anymore. I hope that you got the idea. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you tomorrow.